Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
A Palestinian attempted to stab an Israeli soldier at the entrance to Kiryat Arba near Hebron on Monday. The Palestinian was shot and lightly wounded, and no Israelis were injured in the attack. The IDF said the attempted stabbing took place at the Elias Junction, and the incident is being investigated. Kiryat Arba is near the city of Hebron, where Palestinians live in close proximity to Israelis and Israeli settlers. The city is also home to the Tomb of the Patriarchs, which has been the scene of many attacks and attempted attacks over the years. Just last month, a Palestinian attempted to stab a soldier at the holy site and was shot dead as a result. The soldier was slightly injured. But while we hear of many incidents of violence, the head of the Shin Bet says there would be many more if not for them. Shin Bet director Nadav Argaman said that his agency prevented 480 Palestinian terror attacks this year, referring also to 590 potential lone wolf attacks that the Shin Bet had thwarted. Argaman mentioned that Hamas offices in Gaza and Turkey attempted to orchestrate attacks in the West Bank, while Hezbollah had plans for similar efforts from Lebanon as well. But thankfully, these attacks were put to rest before they began, thanks to Argaman himself reportedly liaising between the Israeli government and the Palestinian Authority. Meanwhile, the PLO recently voted to discontinue cooperation between security forces in the Shin Bet and the IDF, but Abbas has not yet approved it. Many believe Abbas will not approve this vote anyhow, though, as Israel's help also suppresses Hamas's presence in the West Bank. Egyptian intelligence officials returned to Gaza on Monday to continue moderating ceasefire talks between Israel and the Hamas terror group in the Strip. Early details of the agreement in progress were recently released, and as part of it, the Palestinian Authority would need to return to paying at least 80% of Palestinian government salaries in Gaza. The PA has so far only offered timid support for the agreement, however, insisting that any final deal would need to be first approved by the PA and would also have to follow a reconciliation agreement between the West Bank and Gaza. Palestinian Authority President Abbas has many times threatened to increase the already harsh sanctions imposed upon the Strip in order to get Hamas to toe the party line under the auspices of the Palestinian Authority. But Hamas has been in power in the Strip since its coup in 2007, and it's already in direct talks with Israel, while Palestinian unification discussions have been stalled for a year. Well, now, according to PA negotiator Saeb Erekat, Israel is also allegedly threatening to divert Palestinian Authority tax revenues directly to Gaza anyway. Erekat said, quote, "Last week, the Israeli side informed us that if we do not pay all funds allocated for the Gaza Strip, they'll cut from the taxes, that they collect customs duties and taxes for us, and they'll transfer them to Gaza," end quote. Neither Kogat officials nor the Prime Minister's office responded for comment. Only time will tell if Israel goes through with the plan as well as how Israel goes about doing it, but for now, Israel continues to collect nearly $170 million per month in taxes for the PA, while the PA maintains that it still pays $96 million per month to Gaza. Meanwhile, along the Gaza border, over 100 southern Israeli high school students from the Eshkol Regional Council bordering Gaza held demonstrations this morning demanding that something, anything, be done about the Palestinian violence in the area. The protesters plan to march from Sapir College in the south all the way to Jerusalem, stopping on the way in whatever communities will host them. And elsewhere, demonstrators blocked roads leading to Gaza-Israel checkpoints and crossings. Now, while it's true that this week, as Israeli and Hamas officials negotiate a ceasefire via Egypt, attacks from over the border have slowed to a crawl. But they've never fully stopped since the March of Return protests began in March. Palestinians have launched rockets, incendiary balloons and kites, have planted explosives, burnt tires, thrown grenades and Molotov cocktails and stones at soldiers, and more. Well, the Israeli youths of the south have had enough, and with these protests they aim to show that they too can make a difference and do something to find a solution. In the wake of the Pittsburgh synagogue massacre, a number of anti-Semitic hate crimes have come to light in the United States. A man in Cambridge, Massachusetts assaulted a 66-year-old Jewish woman by reportedly pushing the victim and putting his fist on her throat, all while screaming anti-Semitic statements at her. He was later arrested and charged with assault and battery with intent to intimidate, which is considered a hate crimes charge. But this follows another incident in Salem, Massachusetts, in which graffiti with swastikas next to a drawing of Hitler and the words "Kill Kikes" were scrawled on buildings. Drawings of swastikas were found in Reading, Massachusetts at a high school, too. The school notified students and asked for any information about who may have been responsible for the drawings. And then in Florida, a woman who claims that she is Jewish is reportedly receiving threats and harassment from her home association in Tampa. So allegedly, in response to this harassment, she put up a Nazi Auschwitz-themed Halloween display on her lawn. It includes a sign with a Jewish star on her front lawn, as well as skeletons with numbers on their arms and giving the Nazi salute. Even the words Arbeit macht frei, or work sets you free, which was written above the gates of the Auschwitz extermination camp, were put up. The hate is so seemingly widespread, That on campuses across the country, Jewish students are reportedly choosing to not openly identify as being Jewish so as to not be the target of anti-Israel and anti-Semitic rhetoric. These students are often targeted by organizations such as J Street, Peace Now, Students for Justice in Palestine, and the New Israel Fund. And as for Pittsburgh, the city has seen a massive spike in anti-Semitic hate crimes over the past few years. Just last autumn, greeting cards with swastikas appeared in the mailboxes of residents in the very same Squirrel Hill neighborhood where the Tree of Life Synagogue massacre occurred.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.